Well, hi folks, as you can see, even the Sarpo Blue Danube have got blight now. Leaves have absolutely had it. Within the last 3 or 4 days they've just gone right over. So although Sarpo Blue Mira are more tuber blight tolerant than most, they're not going to grow anymore because the leaves will be gone in a couple of days. So we'll get these harvested and see what we've got this year. I'm not expecting much because they're a bit premature, because I've usually harvested these from sort of late September to October time, so they're a month early. And we'll give this one a tip out as well. This is the one, another one of the test pots that I've grown in the molehill soil and sand. So we'll get them all tipped out, harvested, and see what we've got. All right then folks, we'll get them all chopped off, tipped into the wheelbarrow again. Just chop the tops of these off and we'll get started. So like I said, these are the Sarpo Blue Danube, which are not as big as Sarpo Miras, and they've not obviously got as good a blight resistance, but they're fantastic variety for chips and roast potatoes. Well, we've got a few, you can see, but they are a little bit on the small side. Like I said, because they've got blight, I've got to take them now, and that is way too small. Unfortunately, unless there's some bigger ones in, I'll just rip it in half, see if there's anything more extravagant shows itself. That's more like it. So another month on those and they'd have been absolutely fine, but I mean, they're all right, they're a good size, but I would like them to have been a bit bigger. Quite difficult to see because they're a purpley colour. So yeah, I think these are the best. Oh no, there's quite a few. Like I said, on the small side because of the fact that they've had to be harvested a little bit soon. But we should get a decent amount. I'll still grow them again. Just look at the draw whether or not you get blight. There's not a lot you can do about it, and considering the weather we've had this summer, it's hardly surprising really. So we're getting a few more anyway. Just go through them. In the past, I think last year I had my best crop of these, and they grew till sort of late September, and I got about, I think I was getting about average £10 a pot, but we're not going to get anything like that with these, unfortunately. But you can't fight Mother Nature and a little diseases she sends you along. No, they're a bit too small for anything really, some of these, unless you roast them whole, which isn't out of the question. So that is quite disappointing, unfortunately. It'll be interesting to see how big the yield is from the ones I've grown in the sand with the molehill soil, with proper soil mixed in. See if they've done any better or the same. If they've done the same or better, I'll definitely use that technique next year, because it'll save me an awful lot of money on compost, which is getting to be ridiculously expensive these days. So that's the first pot. Let's have a look. Not a lot, probably about maybe £2 or £3, so well down on what I would normally expect. Let's see if they get better as we go along, or worse, you never know. Alright then, let's try this one. See if this is any better. Looks much of a muchness. Again, there's a few sticking out of the sides. These look a little bit bigger, some of them. Not a bad size, but not really big enough. I need to rest my back, I'm going to kneel down. So we'll just rip this apart again, see if there's anything extraordinary pops out. A few of these are quite scabby, which is suggests that I've not been watering them well enough. Well, I know I haven't, and I know that for a fact. So that's the major contributor to scab, is lack of water. That gives them the ideal sort of surroundings for it to flourish. We've got an old nice one there like that. I mean, if we've got buckets full of that size, I'd be more than happy. But it's when you're getting them like that big, it doesn't really do much for you. Not too bad. These are a little bit better. Compost is very, very dry, so that wouldn't help with making a bigger spud either. Like I said before, what I'll do with all this spent compost is to just put it onto my garden, on my raised beds, the no dig ones. That's a seed potato, and then just use it as a sort of soil conditioner. All the worms will take it in. I think that's that one. That's for that one. Oh dear. We'll do them all if you're not getting too bored. We might get lucky and get a good one, but I don't think there'll be any difference. Again, that was right at the bottom, that one. This one's a bit of a wetter pot for some reason. I haven't found any potatoes in it yet. Oh no, we've got some. Yeah, like I said, they're quite difficult to see probably on the video because they're a dark skinned potato. Not very many in this one. Just get these in the pot with the rest. I remember harvesting these in the past and filling huge tubs up with them, but not this year. There's a nice one, there you go, that's the biggest one yet. If they'd all been like that, they'd have been fantastic. So, but they're not. Just make a little bit of room. Get some of this compost chucked away. Not finding any more. Another one there. Few and far between. Oh dear. No, no more. Right, we'll do the last pot, and then after that we'll do the one that's one that I grew them in sand and molehill soil, and we'll see if that's any different. I'll get this last one out. Now this one's got a lot more stalks to it, a lot more plants in the pot, so it's probably going to have a lot more potatoes, but they'll be even smaller. So let's have a look at this last one. Oh, I need to bend down again, be back. Let's just rip this in half straight off. Now that's more like it. Some nice size ones there. That's sort of what you're after, hopefully. Oh dear. No. Yeah, there's some quite nice ones in this. So there is a lot of luck involved as to what you get. Seed potato there, let's get rid of those. Drop that, about 5% of my weight. Another seed potato. And the final seed potato. I put 3 in this, I think, because they were quite small seed potatoes. So I put 3 in rather than 2. That's about it. There was a couple of big ones and nothing else. Oh, I've got one more there. And that one. A few more lurking about. I'll have plenty of compost to go on my beds with all these. No, I think that's about it. I'll just get this all emptied out and then I'll go and do the one that's been grown in the sand and molehills and see if that's any better. Alright then folks, let's try this one that's been grown in sand and molehill soil. 50-50. Because the others haven't been too impressive. Right, let's take this out. This weighs a ton. Oh, feel some lumps in this one though, as if there's some potatoes in it. So let us have a look. Right down to the bottom as well. You can see how sandy this soil is. Got some nice shape, well no, sorry, not shape, nice size ones by the looks of it, better than the others. Already, look at that. So I think the old growing it in molehill soil and a bit of sand to keep it nice and well drained is the way to go. We'll just get it all separated and see what we've got. Some big long ones in this. That's a seed potato. Seems to be a lot more in this. Seems to be a different shape. They seem to be longer for some reason. Oh, let me just get up and put some of this soil back in, and you can see how many spuds we've got. But if you can see, there seems to be a lot more in this, so which is telling me that this is the way to go in the future. A few more. That's a seed potato, another one, chuck that. I think that's that. Let's just get these out. Now that's not a bad crop. Like I said, they're probably hard to see because they are a bit like soil coloured. That's the last seed potato there. A rotten one. So not brilliant, but probably about the same as as the rest, if not a little bit more, because that's what I got out of 4 pots. 4 pots of the other ones, and that's from 1 pot, and there's probably half as much. So I would say that there's been more yield from the older, from the ones grown in the sand and soil. So we'll just weigh them now. I'll weigh all these in 1 pot and divide it by 4. That'll give me an average. If they don't fall out, have a look. Just short of 13 £. So that is a disappointing 3 1/4 pounds a pot for the ones grown in the normal compost. So let's have a see what we've got in here. So anything more than 3 1/4 pounds, then it will be an improvement on the ones grown in the normal compost. And don't forget, the ones that grew in this soil weren't grown in the ground either, with the roots going through. They were just been grown on, you know, on the weed membrane, so there was no additional benefit from any soil at the roots. Right, let's have a look. Anything better than 3 1/4 pound, we've got 4 1/4 pound. So I've got £1 more from that than those per pot. So it's been a bit of a disappointing harvest, folks. About £17 in all, 17, 18 £, from 5 pots. So roughly £3 1/2 a pot. Disappointing, but there you go. That's all you can do when you have a bad season. You got to make the best of it. That's about it, folks. See you later.